Hi guys, welcome to On Your Bike Bridgewater. My name's Duncan. Today I'm going to show you what happens when you donate a bike to us. So when a bike comes in, we take a little bit of data just to make sure the person giving us the bike was the owner of the bike, so you don't end up with a bike that you shouldn't have. Also, we can then, if it is a bike that no one should have, it can go back to the rightful owner. We'll appraise the bike visually, so we don't use any tools to do this process. We look at the bike and we look at what kind of condition it's in. If it's a bike we don't think that we're likely to sell, one of two things might happen to it. We might strip the bike for any usable parts, which is why we've got such a good second-hand selection of bits and bobs that you might need to repair your own bikes, or we'll use them for our Own a Bike course. Look to our website or YouTube channel to find out more about this. So now we're going to look at a couple of bikes that we've just had donated and what we're going to do with them. So we've got the bike in the stand now, and the first thing we've noticed is that we've got a puncture. So I'm going to stick the pump on it and see if it's flat or if I need to replace it. So having put some air in the tyre, I'm quite happy there's no puncture in it. It's not going down and I can't hear any hissing. So next I'm going to check the wheels. There's three parts of the wheels I need to check. First one is the hubs, which is just here. There's no movement in the hub, which means it's not moving side to side, but the wheel does spin. Next thing I'm going to check are the spokes, and all I'm doing is just trying to find if any of them are looser than the others. So just rotate the wheel and just squeeze the spokes. The last thing I check on the wheel is the tyre. Looks like we got quite lucky with this one because it looks nearly new. So I'm looking for cracks, particularly in the tyre wall, not just the heavy tread pattern running down the centre. And obviously there's two sides to the bike, so we need to check both. The other thing we want to check with the tyres is that they're on the right way, because tyres do have a direction. So next I'm going to check the stays. This is the rear part of the frame, just to make sure that they're not dented or mangled, haven't been crushed at all. And these look pretty good. The paintwork's in good condition as well. It's looking like a nice bike. So now I'm going to check the brakes. Majorly, but a lot of the bikes we get don't have brakes at all. Luckily this bike does have brake blocks, but more often than not we don't get any. You can see why that would be a bit of an issue when you pull the handle. So now we're making our way up the bike. I've checked the rear end of the bike and I'm up at the seat post here. So first thing I'm going to check, the seat bolt is attached and that the seat post and the saddle are all firm. And we're going to check the saddle itself to see if there's any tears in it that we might need to replace. So top tip for if you're coming in looking for a bike, the way we would generally size you is your hip bone, the ball and socket part of your leg, coming up to the height of the saddle, just as a rough guide. Now I'm happy with this part of the bike. I'm going to work my way down the bike. So again, we're going down this bit of the bike here, which is called the seat post. Working our way down the bike, we're going to look at the seat tube. So again, no dents, no crushes. It does have a front mac on this one, or a front derailleur. I'm just going to check that that actually does move, which it does. Sometimes they're seized if they've been sat in a garage for ages or even out in the garden. Pedals. They do rotate, a little bit sticky, but we can work with that. Okay, so now we're right at the bottom of the bike where the bottom bracket is housed. Just right here is a section of little bearings that allow the pedals and the chain set to just rotate freely. What I'm looking for is any side-to-side movement, and this is how we do it. We check in several different positions, not just straight up and straight down, just to see if we've got a sticky or warm bearing. We're really locking in with this bike, guys. It seems fairly nice. So now we're happy at this part of the bike. I'm going to come up the frame. So this is the top tube, this is the down tube, and again I'm just looking to see if there's any dents or cracks even in the frame. What I'm going to do, because there is a top and a bottom of the frame, I'm going to rotate the bike in the stand just so I can check the bottom of it as well. Good to go. So now we're heading up to the top of the bike. Next thing I'm going to check is up here at the headset. The headset is another bearing that lets your handlebars rotate side to side. And again, we're just looking to see if it's nice and smooth and the handlebars fall back to level. What we don't want is any wobbling side to side. And again, this is a really nice bike. We're lucky to have had it donated. It seems in really good condition. We're at the top end of the bike now. I'm just going to do a real simple brake function test on the bike. As we already know, that rear brake's not doing much, but the front brake seems to be pulling quite nicely, and it bites just at about parallel. Important tool that we're going to use is a chain wear indicator. It gives us 2 measures, half of the chain's life and 3/4 of the chain's life. If you choose a roller, insert the device in, and we can see that this chain is not even halfway through its life expectancy, so it's got plenty of miles left in it yet. The next thing I'm going to check is that the limit screws, which are here and here, are doing their job. They stop the chain from jumping into this little gap here and this gap here. I'm just out of curiosity going to see how well the gears are working and the brakes are functioning. That's interesting. Okay, so we can see that there's a little bit of an issue with the gears. It will shift through some of them, and then it skips a couple of gears on the way up the block. So that's nothing but cable tension adjustments. Good. So all I'm going to do is encourage the cage on the rear net to move through its full travel. And we can see that the low limit screw is struggling to keep the chain on the cassette. That's an easy fix and just requires me to adjust the limit screw here. So now I've adjusted that limit screw, we can see that the chain no longer tries to hop off the low part of the cassette. That's the job done. So we're really pleased with this donation. It'll make an excellent Christmas present or a day-to-day bicycle. So we're happy that we're going to put it out for sale, send it to another home. So this is one of the many bikes we've got available. Please feel free to come and visit us and see all of the other bikes that are available right now. Hit that like and subscribe button and we'll see you real soon.